Hi Giovanni, hi Giacomo. We have a few questions about Microsoft, about you, about what you do here, and what your technology provide for us. To start, I did some research, about Microsoft in Barcelona.
Okay.
And I saw you opened a few years ago R&D development area. So what kind of stuff do you do there?
So basically, we have two offices in Barcelona.
Yeah.
This office is more sales commercial, and it belongs to the Spanish subsidiary. While we have another office close by the way, it's in Poblenou, and it's a global hub for all what is web experiences. And there you have 90 engineers, so it's an engineer hub. And they develop all what is web experience, meaning Bing, Maps, and MSN, and all what is Microsoft properties that offer to users experience online.
Here you're separate from the developer?
Well, no, actually, we are in the same macro group in terms of business unit, but as for logistical matters, we are in the sales, let's say, office here.
Okay. We want to know what do you do here? What kind of mission could you have, and this kind of things?
All right. So yeah, I'm account executive for the so-called Microsoft Audience Network, which is, as we mentioned before, basically our audience piece, selling on Outlook, MSN.com, and Edge. And for SMB, so small and medium businesses, and for EMEA and LATAM. So our mission is basically bringing expertise on products to the client and eventually deliver good results, I would say there.
So I am sales director for Italy, Spain, Israel, and UK. And my role is to make sure that my team has the perfect condition to deliver on our goals, that is basically increase our market share. And basically my focus is on Bing, so it's the search piece, plus what Giovanni was saying, the native display solution.
He wants to know the main quality to be a part of Microsoft, maybe
For me, in Microsoft, but in general, it's about attitude.
Okay.
To give your 100% all the time, to be open to feedback, open to learn, open to challenge your mindset.
Dedication, motivation.
Yeah, you have to be full on what you're doing.
Okay, so
and give your 100%.
To me, Microsoft, generally speaking, the thing I like the most is the growth mindset, as we call it here, which is basically you always learn, right? So the idea is you never stop and you never do your job in silos. You always want to collaborate. You always want to learn from the client, from your peers, from yourself. And in this way, it's like an entrepreneurial, I would say, way of doing things. And you always do it with respect. I think Microsoft has been in all different companies, I would say, is one of the most important for respect, I would say. And so that you can perform, you don't have to feel any other pressure, but just do what you're supposed to do, collaborate, learn from others, and try, let's say, to do this.
Okay. What is your closing strategy when you...
Closing strategy?
Yeah, for contract.
Well, at the end of the day, you need to be compelling to your customer, so you need to really understand deep what they need and offer a solution that answers to that need. So if you are able to link the customer need and the solution, is when you have the deal. So there's two things. First, being curious about your customer, and second, be creative to connect the dots between the needs and your products. Common mistake in sales that is speaking more than listening. Okay. And you need definitely to do the other way around. There is a 80-20 ratio that you should respect. So listen 80 and speak 20.
Okay. It's super important. We often speak more than listen, I would say, because we are very talkative in sales, I would say. But yeah, definitely the key recommendation.
Why did you choose Microsoft instead of other company, Apple, Google?
In advertising, Microsoft advertising, you feel like a startup, but without the pressure of being in a startup. Because I've been in a startup before, right? Before this job, and I felt like the pressure of delivering without the quality itself. And also the way you treat people in Microsoft is like 10 times, 20 times better than any other company you can get. From my experience, I would say. So I wanted to be like treated as a professional, but like properly. But I always tried for this new startup thing. Like I wanted to be creative. I wanted to be the one that could have a huge impact, I would say, as I was having in the startup. But I also cared about my personal life, to be honest. So to me, work-life balance is super important, it's paramount. So I didn't want to like spend 14 hours a day working for a startup, getting stressed because life is not only work. But I wanted to have this kind of passion that I used to have for startups in the startup environment. And the second piece is, as a sales manager, it's easy to sell if you're like the leader in whatever space. But if you're the second best solution or the third best solution, you always have to prove yourself. And when you get something out there, even if you're increasing your market share from 2% to 3%, it's a huge gain. It's way better than defending a long-term position as a leader, in my opinion. So I was excited by these two opportunities.
For you to know, we are given 3 days, paid days here to do volunteering activities.
Oh.
So basically we did 2. The first was to go to the beach and clean the beach outside. Okay. And then we went to a dog shelter to take care of dogs. So meaning that it's not just the ecological piece, but also volunteering, ERG are kind of communities inside Microsoft that are taking care of specific topics, meaning LGBTQ and the OLA, that is for Hispanic Latino people. There are subgroups that are working to bring awareness to specific topics. Okay. So there is a lot of work done to those kind of cultural pillars of ours that makes, I think, working in Microsoft even more meaningful, because it's not just only business, but it's also the impact in society that you can have.
So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.